Science. Dean here? Okay. But I know Captain Jesus Acuña Perez, our Air Force Professor of Aerospace Studies and Lead Planner. Thank you, Captain. Bienvenidos to the 4th annual observance of Latino Education and Advocacy Days. Today we stand united yet one more year. 1,000 or more attendees will join us throughout the day here on the campus of California State University, San Bernardino. We're in the Santos Manuel Student Union Event Center, and it's a great day. It's a beautiful day. The weather's nice. The energy was great. As soon as I walked in, the mariachi was playing. I loved it. It's really good to be here. So let's give ourselves an applause for showing up today, being here. Okay. We're going to be linked in to many thousands more across the globe with more than 1,500 viewing sites or lead chapters. And we also have individuals who've pledged to convene with us today via internet. We have LatinoGraduate.net who is streaming us live here across the internet. Thank you. Thank you, folks. We're going to continue our tradition of red carpet interviews throughout the day at every break and every cafecito. So you can watch out there, folks, on the internet. You can watch during the break time. You can be able to hear the interviews with many of our panelists that are going to be here today. Our webcast interface includes an open forum chat. So for those of you who are watching, it should be obvious on this side of the screen, right, you have a chat room. So please, we want you to plug in, right? That chat function is connected in real time to Facebook and Twitter and the various social media platforms. In addition to the chat functions on the webcast, anyone, including those of you here at CSUSB as well, or any viewing site, can also follow our hashtags on your own social media sites. This year, we want to thank our 2013 social media ambassadors, Latism, Latinos in Social Media, Los Angeles Chapter, and Bloggers of Health. Our ambassadors, where are you? Please stand up so we can see our social media ambassadors. Very good. With their help, namely Jessica Sofia Valle, along with Jose Rivera's Communication Studies class, Maria Riesta and Maritza Morales, we have a whole team of on-site social media ambassadors who will all day actively send tweets, post blogs, publish comments, share links, share photos. They basically share with us their experiences throughout the day at the LEAD Summit. So thank you so much. My mother just walked in. Feliz cumpleaños, Oma. My mother just walked in. All right, so very good. She's here with my sister, Ana Luisa, so thank you. I want to say, go ahead, like us, follow us on your various social media at LEAD Projects. We have 3 hashtags. It's in your program, but it's hashtag LEAD 2013, hashtag LatismLA, and hashtag BOH. Okay? The benefit of using hashtag, for those of you who may not know, is that when you pose or answer a question or some kind of insightful comment, it goes into a special category or thread. That way you can follow the thread of conversation that's taking place throughout the whole day. Okay? Before anything else, we want to thank our crew, the CSUSB Information Resources and Technology, the Department of Academic Computing and Media, ACM for short, our crew back here, so thank you to our crew. All right. We also have preempted regular broadcasting over NBC News and Talk Radio through our local affiliate, KCAA 1050 AM. Thank you, Paul. We have, check this out, we have 4 million listeners right now, live in real time listening to us. All right. So thank you, Paul, for connecting us to 4 million people. That's awesome. Then we have an additional 1 million folks from the Inland Insider of that morning show we did the other day. That's 5 million, so we appreciate it. We also have Time Warner Cable who are doing their broadcasts, and according to them, we have 2.5 million viewers watching us right now on Time Warner Cable and their public channels. So thank you, Time Warner. Before I introduce you to our distinguished members on our welcome panel, it's important that we acknowledge a few offices up front. So first of all, we want to thank all our sponsors, partners, town hall events, planners, speakers, translators, exhibitors, who without you, your participation, we just couldn't be here today. You all are mentioned in the program, but I'll take time out throughout the day to give special acknowledgments to you all. We want to thank the Office of the President at CSUSB, as well as the support we receive from our College of Education, Office of the Dean, and numerous programs and departments across CSUSB. And a little while ago, I noticed we have here our immediate past president, Dr. Albert Carnig. Raise your hand, Dr. Carnig. Our immediate past. Thank you for being here with us today. Thank you to the Santos Manuel Student Union, Josie, and all your facilities management team. Thank you so much. Of course, we want to thank each and every one of more than 800 organizers across 28 countries who have organized their town hall viewing sites today. They're the ones who really do the work. They get the word out, they reserve rooms, and they invite their local networks like that. Many of these chapters or town hall viewing sites have hybrid events. So they pick out maybe half of the panels on today's session, and they watch that over the internet, but then they invite their local speakers, and they have people who talk about the local issues in their area. So it's like a hybrid thing. We also want to thank the College of Extended Learning. Dean Carmenova was here earlier, I saw her, for making available the optional credit for attendees and viewers. Last but not least, special and unique thanks goes to our entire 2013 Planning Committee, advisors, executive council members, and today's entire production staff for their time, their efforts, and many dozens of volunteers, I think 80 volunteers we have this morning, helping us to do this. Last but not least, thanks to our translation team who are making this accessible to our Spanish-dominant attendees, and of course, our captioning service that's making this accessible to our hard of hearing folks. Okay, with that said, all right, take a deep breath. Okay, got that out of the way. Okay, so now let's start with our welcome panel this morning. Okay, please direct your attention to the big screen. We have a special video message from Dr. Timothy White, Chancellor of the Cal State University System. As the 7th Chancellor of the CSU, he serves as the Chief Executive Officer of the country's largest senior system of public higher education, providing leadership to 44,000 faculty and staff and 427,000 students across 23 campuses and 7 off-campus centers. So let's listen to Chancellor White's message.
Thank you, Enrique, and many thanks to the California State University San Bernardino College of Education, and to President Tomas Morales, and to each of you for gathering and working on this important effort. I want to start by saying this much, my conclusion really, something you already know, that higher education is vital to our future. What we do really does matter. Helping students achieve a college degree is about more than simply increasing individual incomes. It's about raising the quality of life for all members of society. It's about building stronger communities with more dedicated and educated leaders, having more engaged citizens, creating a larger tax base to support services that people value, and developing safer communities with less reliance on public aid. As educators, we are leading a new generation of students to find their passions and achieve their goals with the help of a college degree. And in California, it is impossible to talk about the future of our state without talking about educating our Latino population. At the California State University, we recognize and welcome the significant growth of the Latino population, and we are dedicating resources to improving opportunities for all of our students with a special focus on the Latino community. This means that we are fully involved in partnerships and outreach on several levels. We're working across the board to improve college preparation for all students. We are working to smooth the transition between community colleges and our institutions, recognizing that most Latino students begin with community college just as I did. Senate Bill 1440, SB 1440, is a key piece shaping our working relationship. We're continuing to work with the Parent Institute for Quality Education, or PK as we call it, on educating parents about how to help their children get to college. Right now, every CSU campus works with at least 5 schools through our PK partnership. That means we have 120 schools involved with an average PK graduating class of 70 parents. So we're graduating about 8,500 parents each year from this program. That's 8,500 more parents who are going to be educated and motivated to help their children get on a college track. We're continuing to work with Spanish-speaking parents through SL Momento, our educational partnership with Univision. This program is now in both Northern and Southern California, and we are working with parents of children in grades K through graduate school. I know that there is widespread concern about the growing cost of a college education that has occurred because of the reduction in state support. With the passage of Proposition 30 late last year, I can assure you that the CSU has no tuition increases planned for the immediate future. We are also continuing to follow and advise the debate in Washington about the future of Pell Grants, and we will do everything we can to sustain this important benefit that enables access for so many of our students. And last, but by no means least, we are working to ensure that the DREAM Act becomes the law of the land. California has been a pace setter, but the dreamers deserve an opportunity to educate themselves no matter what state they live in. I'll say it again because it's so important for all of us in higher education. What we do matters for our students, for our state, and for our future. And we will continue to tell our story far and wide because the work that we do now will have an impact for years and generations to come. Thank you very much for all of your work today. I wish you a productive and meaningful conference.
Thank you, Chancellor White. We really, really appreciate your efforts in taking time out of your busy schedule. We know you wanted to be here in person, but hey, we'll take the video. That's great too. We know how busy you are. Dr. White was born in Argentina. Check it out, right? He was born in Argentina. He and his parents immigrated to Canada first and then came to California. And, I'm quite proud. He's a first-generation college graduate. And now he's the chancellor of the largest public system, right, of higher education. So that's awesome. So, ahí está. Thank you again, Chancellor. And he gave a special shout out to PIQE, the Parents Institute for Quality Education. Will the PIQE folks stand up so we can recognize you? There we go. So our PIQE folks are here with us today. So, muy bien. Okay, so next we have Dr. Tomas Morales, our new president, right? He's been here for 6 or 7 months here at Cal State San Bernardino. We're very proud that he's here. He's our 4th president to take on this role. Boricua, born in Puerto Rico, raised in the South Bronx, right? He'd been president of the College of Staten Island of the City University of New York for 5 years before accepting the post at Cal State San Bernardino. One administrator at Staten Island credited Morales with making college more affordable and class schedules more flexible and making it easier for working students to attend school. So, ladies and gentlemen, President Tomas Morales.
Gracias, Enrique. En nombre de los estudiantes, la facultad y el personal, quiero darles la bienvenida a Cal State San Bernardino. Tengo el placer de asistir a la 4ª cumbre anual de LEAD, mi primera vez como presidente de la Universidad Estatal de California, San Bernardino. Aumentar el número de niños mexicanos y latinos que aspiran a asistir a la universidad es uno de los objetivos de esta cumbre. Necesitamos que los padres, los educadores y las organizaciones de la comunidad trabajen en conjunto para aumentar el número de latinos que se gradúan de la escuela secundaria y que son admitidos y se gradúan de la universidad. Quiero agradecer al profesor Enrique Murillo y todos los voluntarios que han trabajado mucho para hacer que esta cumbre sea exitosa. Gracias por estar aquí con nosotros hoy. On behalf of the students, faculty, and staff, I want to welcome you to Cal State San Bernardino. I am pleased to attend the 4th Annual LEAD Summit, my first as the president of California State University San Bernardino. Increasing the number of Mexican American and Latino children who aspire to attend college is one of the goals of this summit. We need parents, educators, and community organizations to work together to increase the number of Latinos who graduate from high school and are admitted and graduate from college. I want to thank Professor Enrique Murillo and all of the volunteers who worked very hard to make this summit successful, and I want to thank you for attending today. It is indeed a pleasure to welcome everyone to the 4th Annual Latino Education and Advocacy Day Summit. I want to extend special thanks to many dignitaries present, some of whom have traveled a great distance to join us today. Please know we deeply appreciate your participation in the summit and also your support of LEAD's vital mission. As a Hispanic serving institution, CSUSB also is very committed to LEAD and its mission. I'd like to thank, again, Dr. Enrique Murillo, members of the LEAD team, and the many volunteers whose excellent work make this event possible. I want to thank our Dean of Education and all of the faculty and staff that play a role. There are just countless of hours that our faculty and staff and our students work with Enrique to really make this summit a very, very special event. Each of you deserve applause for a job exceptionally well done. As we discuss the challenges facing Latino students both now and as we move forward, it is essential that we have a very candid conversation, recognizing that this is a multifaceted issue and that we may not always agree completely on solutions. However, I think we can all agree on is that we need to be bold and innovative in both our thinking and approaches if we are to succeed in our efforts. There is not a single one-size-fits-all solution to address these challenges. It will require targeted, integrated approaches that take into account the uniqueness of locality. Each community is different, so solutions must be tailored for particular environments. That is why I cannot overstate the importance of local efforts to improve Latino educational outcomes. For example, in the Inland Empire, the region that CSUSB serves, Latinos have one of the lowest college-going and completion rates in the nation. This, of course, has enormous implications for the area's economy and personal quality of life. We've sought to address these critical issues through community-based partnerships, as well as focused initiatives and programs that reach out to Latino students. We've made progress, and we still have more work to do, of course, but I believe we're on the right course. Education is the foundation for a healthy and prosperous community, so it's imperative that we all make sure we get every Latino student firmly on track as soon as possible. We need to do more to engage our young Latino women and men, starting when they're toddlers and in the critical first years of school, before negative distractions and poor performance drive them away from a university education. Let me repeat that. College readiness, college attainment starts in preschool. We have to work very hard so that universal preschool is a reality for every American. For every American. And indeed, a university education and ultimately a chance at a better life. Today, a college degree is even more critical, given increased global competition for jobs. Many of those jobs now require college training, a trend that will only continue. College graduates on average earn significantly more over a lifetime than someone with only a high school diploma. And equally important, college graduates are also less likely to be unemployed. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the unemployment rate for college graduates currently is half of what it is for high school graduates. And those without a high school diploma face even longer odds of finding stable employment. Simply put, a college degree means greater earning, promotion, and employment potential, which in turn means a better quality of life. And indeed, college graduates are healthier. College graduates vote at higher rates. The children of college graduates do better in school. So it's critical that we increase the number of our Latino students and other historically underrepresented students to increase their high school completion rate and to increase their graduation rate. In closing, I want to restate that CSUSB strongly supports LEAD's mission and will continue to work collaboratively with all stakeholders to accelerate and ensure Latino educational achievement. I'm truly blessed to be the president of this institution, to follow my colleague Al Karnick, because this institution's DNA is about service. We're an anchor institution. We are the Inland Empire, and the Inland Empire is CSUSB. It's quite clear, given that Latinos now account for 1 in 6 Americans, that the continued economic strength of the U.S. is linked to the educational success of Latinos, who will make up an even larger percentage of the workforce in the years ahead. So I encourage each of you to continue your efforts to improve Latino college readiness and academic achievement. And please, take back to your communities LEAD's message of Latino educational advocacy and empowerment. Once again, thank you for your excellent work on behalf of equity in education and for your participation in the LEAD Summit. I hope you enjoy the lectures, panel presentations, and other program activities that will take place throughout the day. God bless you all.
Thank you, Mr. President, Dr. President. We've come to know you now in these last 6 months as a committed custodian of our university, which is a huge responsibility, and we really do appreciate your support of the LEAD projects. So thank you once again. I saw my father walk in, my jefito. I want to acknowledge my father. Muy buenos días. Párate para que te vea la gente. All right, thank you. Okay. Also, a little bird told me that the Firme youth from the Coachella Valley are here. Or the Coachella Valley kids here? Where are you?
Where are they?
Oh, they're in the back. Órale, thank you. Our filmmakers. Thank you. All right. Next, we have Bruce Barron, who is Chancellor of the San Bernardino Community College District. The San Bernardino Community College District is one of 72 districts in the California Community College system, representing 112 community colleges. The district is comprised of 2 colleges, San Bernardino Valley College and Crafton Hills College, the Professional Development Center, and their own public television and radio station, KVCR. It's my honor to introduce Chancellor Bruce Barron.
Good morning. Buenos dias. I want to take a moment to personally acknowledge Dr. Murillo. It's really his dedication, his vision, and his tireless work that bring us all together today. When at San Bernardino Community College District, I started the Chancellor's Task Force on Latino issues, I asked Dr. Murillo if he would join, and he very graciously said that he would. And I know how busy he is, and it was getting close to putting this conference together, and yet he came, shared with us his ideas, his vision, his best practices, and it's really helped all of us to become more focused on improving our service to our Latino and ultimately to all students. So thank you very much, Dr. Murillo, for your leadership. Again, my name is Bruce Barron, and I am the Chancellor of the San Bernardino Community College District. I really appreciate the opportunity to say good morning and to give a greeting to all of you today. I have my own teleprompter here, so it's not the teleprompter problem, it's the operator problem. These orientations are supposed to change automatically, and they don't. We have two colleges of which we are justifiably very proud, San Bernardino Valley College and Crafton Hills College. Our student body is more than 50% Latino, and in this community, our colleges provide many of the first responders, nurses, EMTs, fire personnel, and paramedics, among other professionals. We transfer a substantial number of students to four-year colleges and universities as well. And the first choice, transfer choice among our students is right here, Cal State University, San Bernardino, where they feel welcome and can blossom in the wonderful facilities, laboratories, libraries, and classrooms, and become the intellectuals and good citizens that we help to mold over the years. As community colleges, we are often the first step for students who are the first in their families to pursue an education after high school. We provide the academic grounding, improve skills, and supply a support system that will allow them to visualize success in college. For AB 540 students, those brought here by their families when they were too young to make their own decisions, we encourage the idea that their dreams of a college degree or certificate are the foothold of a realistic set of professional goals, that they can achieve what the system has for years told them they should not expect to accomplish. Both of our colleges are recipients of grants from the U.S. Department of Education for Hispanic serving institutions. Both grants, received in fall 2011, are for 5 years and are to enhance science, technology, engineering, and mathematic activities and training, and are designed to improve and expand each of our colleges' capacity to serve Hispanic students. The San Bernardino Valley College grant is a cooperative grant, which we share with Cal State University, San Bernardino. The kind of support from the federal government that we have received greatly enhances the chances of success in higher education for Latino, first-generation, and low-income students. Through our implementation of the programs and services supported by these grants, we are benefiting all students in many ways, including increased access to education, graduation, and transfer rates. Ultimately, these grants will help us to build a stronger community because we will be preparing individuals better able to contribute to the economy, support local business and industry, and enhance our ability to be competitive in the global marketplace. I am excited to be here with this distinguished group who represent the political forces and academic vision that can create the changes we have long anticipated and supported, bringing into the discussion the voices that have not been heard and must be recognized. It is time for us to address the connection between educational achievement and economic success for every student, from preschool to postgraduate. Doing so not only broadens the opportunities for our young people, but it also will improve our lives as citizens of the global economy. I thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. Please have a wonderful day. Thank you.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you, Chancellor. Very good. Next, I would like to present Dr. Jay Feeney. He is Dean of our College of Education, California State University, San Bernardino. Dean Feeney has been working hard, very, very hard, over the last few years with us to ensure our College of Education remains relevant and a leader in our region and across the nation, really, in terms of the development of professionals in education and human services. Our fully accredited programs are among the most respected in the region, having in many cases both state and national accreditation, such as the prestigious NCATE, or National Council for the Accreditation of Teacher Education. Ladies and gentlemen, Dean Feeney.
As some of you know from previous events, I stumbled through Spanish, but after listening to the president this morning, I don't think I'll try that this year. I would like to add my welcome to this, the fourth LEAD Summit on behalf of the College of Education, all of our faculty, staff, and students, and also all of our alumni. I'd like to thank Enrique and President Carnegie. Thank you for your support in getting this started. Our partners, our sponsors, the CSUSB campus, because this is not just a College of Ed event, this is a campus event. There are untold volunteers, folks behind curtains, behind places that you can't see that are doing untold work today to make this a seamless success, and as well as the entire LEAD team. I'd also like to thank each and every one of you, whether you've joined us virtually or physically, for committing time and talent to this important work. I hope we build today another step in a seamless weld of a system that works for all students. I'd also like to ask you to commit to something, a couple of things. One, the first is to say thank you. I'd like you to personally say thank you to the person who told you you couldn't go to school, who caused you to prove them wrong, the person that tried to steal your dream and inspired you to do it no matter what. We've all had them. Unfortunately, some of them were educators. I'd like you also to thank the persons that stood behind you and pushed you, those that were in front of you and pulled you, and those that walked alongside of you to get to where you are today and to keep you going. Because life is a forward choice as long as we keep moving forward. Look to the positive, don't take no, and keep going. So please, thank those. Thank the good and the ones who inspired you the other way. We have a problem, and I want to ask for your help. I know that if we all work together and do what we can solve this problem. No child in America should ever doubt that they have a right to an education, regardless of his or her address. Help us prove every child can succeed, can choose the right classes, can get the right grades, and can do the right things, and ultimately can have the right to choose college as their option, and they can afford it. We can't afford not to make sure every child has this choice. Help us by asking questions, encouraging your child or other young people. Talk to family and friends who aren't here. Help everyone see the future is bright. Please join our efforts or efforts close to home if you're joining us from a distance. I am counting on you to be a part of the futures of our children and to make those futures ever brighter. Today, I hope, is a day that informs and inspires, and as such, helps you choose to interact with each other and to invest even more of your time and talents on behalf of our children and our future. May you find ways to sustain the good work that is happening or replicate those ideas and work to move the agenda and the outcomes forward. For education is a joint venture of educators, parents, students, and the community, and we must work together to ensure access and support aspirations to success so that all youth see the possibilities and strive to reach their dreams. We must see our context as a benefit and our children as endless potential. There are no excuses, there are no reasons to be less or to accept less. We have to commit to each other and to all learners, because together we can and we will make it better. We will see and hear about moments of success today. Let's make them more than mere moments. Our children, our regions, our country, our world needs each of us to do all we can to make the future one of change, hope, and growth. Thank you.
Thank you, Dean. Next, it's my honor to introduce the Honorable Gloria Negrete Mccloud, recently elected to Congress as the United States Representative for California's 35th Congressional District. She was a California State Senator representing the 32nd District from December 2006 until her election to Congress, and prior to that, she served in the California State Assembly from 2000 to 2006. Damas y caballeros, the Honorable Gloria Negrete Mccloud.
Can you see me? You know, that's what happens when you're short. I'm going to have to do and bring my own little box. Good morning. Thank you for inviting me to the 2013 Latino Education Advocacy Day Summit. I want to thank all of my colleagues that are here, Josie Gonzalez, everybody else, the Chancellor and the President. I want to thank you so much. I also want to thank Dr. Enrique Murillo, whose leadership as Executive Director, and all of those in this organization who have made a difference for the Latino community in and around San Bernardino. The lead organization at Cal State San Bernardino has been committed to creating positive education outcomes of Latino students by highlighting the issues facing this population. Students who often come from schools with fewer resources, staffing, and programs. The future of our nation will rely heavily, as has already been stated, on the educational outcomes of all of our students. In not addressing the issues the Latino community faces, it can burden the nation's economic and societal future. The concerns facing this population, along with the issues facing veterans who will enroll in colleges that serve a diverse student body and are often faced with disproportionate funding in their veterans program. This month, as a member of Congress, I introduced my first bill, H.R. 1251, addressing this particular issue. The Veterans Excellence Through Educational Act will create a competitive grant program aimed at assisting veterans who enroll in Hispanic serving institutions. It is our responsibility as leaders, educators, parents, to address concerns that not only affect the Latino population, but all students who may find themselves facing similar circumstances. Your attendance proves that you too are working to achieve these goals. Thank you. Now those were my written notes. Now I want to talk to you a little bit. You know, when I went to school, way back when the dinosaurs were still laying eggs, People in Latino communities were not pushed to go to college. You know, wasn't expected. My mother went to the 11th grade, my dad to the 8th grade. Probably all of my peers were exactly in the same situation. It wasn't a big priority in our neighborhood. I grew up in Los Angeles, was born there. My mother was born there. My dad grew up there. So it wasn't something that was a top priority. So I didn't go to college. I quit school at 16, got married, had a whole bunch of kids. If you read my bio, you know what I'm saying. I had a whole bunch of kids. I raised my kids, and then as an adult, I said, you know, I can finish high school. I went back to the Chino Adult School. I finished 2 years of high school in 3 months. And then I went to Chaffey College and got my degree. And then I decided I was going to go to the university because, you know, it was my turn. Then my life took a different path. I got involved in politics. And I served on the community college board for 5 years. Then I went to the assembly, served for 6 years. Then I went to the state senate, served for 6 years. And here I am as your congressperson. So just think if I'd have had a degree. So I understand how important education is. I understand that even the lowest job that we will have in the future will require some kind of education. It's a different world than when I grew up. It's a different world that your children will have when they grow up. So I am fully supportive of all education. You know, it's been very hard times when I served in the state legislature to have money. We served some very bad times. Perhaps now with Prop 30, you will start getting some of the money. And again, in the federal government now, again, we're very tied because of the budget. But I will always be there to support education. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Gracias. We're very proud of you. Thank you. You make us proud. Next, we have a video message from the Honorable Jose Medina, California Assembly member representing District 61. Hey, all right. He wanted to be with us today, but I think he's out of the country this morning. So before being elected to the Assembly, Jose Medina was a high school teacher with the Riverside Unified School District for more than 25 years, a member of the Riverside City Teachers Association, and a representative to the State Council of the California Teachers Association. So please direct your attention to the big screen.
Good morning. I'm Assembly Member Jose Medina, and I proudly represent the 61st Assembly District, which encompasses the cities of Riverside, Moreno Valley, and Paris. I'm honored to be given this opportunity to welcome you to the 4th Annual Latino Education Advocacy Day Summit. I recognize LEAD's countless efforts in advancing the awareness of the educational issues which impact the Latino community and cannot overstate the importance of your work. Prior to my election, I spent over 35 years in the classroom in both traditional and continuation schools, while also serving on the boards of a local school district and the Riverside Community College District. I've always seen education as a means to personal empowerment and community transformation. In serving as chair to the Assembly Committee on Jobs, Economic Development, and the Economy, I am committed to helping young adults move beyond systemic challenges that may have existed in their neighborhoods to become entrepreneurs, civic leaders, and accomplished adults. As a former educator, I understand the value of a good education and the effect a quality job can have on an entire family. There can be no long-term prosperity without addressing workforce preparation. We must remove barriers to education and workforce. Research shows that some of the strongest job growth will be experienced within the technology and innovation-based industry sectors. These companies will be seeking workers at all skill levels that are highly competent in math and science. To support this economic challenge, I introduced Assembly Bill 27, which will allow the University of California, Riverside School of Medicine to begin teaching our future doctors. This measure will not only provide new doctors for local hospitals, but it will also strengthen the biomedical industry cluster in Southern California and supply additional high-paid jobs to communities which were hard hit in the recession. This region is already home to one of the largest biopharma industry clusters in the nation, representing about 1/4 of all jobs in the state. There are already over 200 biopharma companies which employ 11,000 people in the region with an average salary of over $100,000. Part of what makes our region such a successful magnet to biopharma companies is the strong presence of the university system. Assembly Bill 27 will allow the UC Riverside School of Medicine to play an even greater role in supporting the biopharma and other health-related industries within the region. As you know, research shows that students work in the communities where they learn, and this community is ready to train our future healthcare professionals. Helping communities build stronger healthcare systems is smart economics. The California economy is in transition, and today, for the first time, Latinos and Latinas represent the largest segment of the working age population. With this new power comes responsibility, which is why we must remain engaged in our communities and have in-depth discussions about our future. Thank you again for this opportunity, and I wish you a successful and memorable summit.
Thank you, Assemblymember Medina. We appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to send us that video. We really appreciate it. Okay. Last but not least, the Honorable Josie Gonzalez, who is our Lead Summit 2013 Honorary Chair, or from now on, affectionately known as our Madrina de Honor. So she's our Madrina. Except she doesn't have to pay for everything. There's a madrina, but doesn't have to pay for everything, but she's our madrina. All right, so es de honor. So thank you for accepting our invitation. Josie Gonzalez proudly serves as supervisor for San Bernardino County's 5th District. She champions issues important to our communities, including public safety, economic development, improved transportation, ending chronic homelessness, and environmental stewardship. She addresses these key issues through cooperative efforts developed on federal, state, and local levels. In an effort to improve the well-being of county families, Supervisor Gonzalez initiated a county-wide Healthy Communities campaign. To date, there may be more, but as far as I know, there's at least 16 cities and towns throughout the county that have adopted innovative Healthy Cities program that encourages residents to make healthy lifestyle choices. Prior to her service as a member of the board, Supervisor Gonzalez served on the Fontana City Council and the city's Planning Commission. The San Bernardino County native that she is, she's also owned and operated a successful small business in the city of Fontana. So, señores invitados, con mucho orgullo les presento nuestra madrina de honor, Supervisor Josie Gonzalez.
Good morning to each and every one of you.
Good morning.
Say good morning to the distinguished faculty. Dr. Kardnig, your presence this morning is very welcome and appreciative. And being able to follow the distinguished panel that's already spoken, I will tell you, leaves me short, and I'm not talking just in stature. The sharing of personal stories adds an important chapter in the writing of our own life story. You young people out there are in the process of writing what will one day be the story with many chapters that will either be shared with your family, with those that you will work with, and one day, with God's grace, be able to have identified the rocks, the stones, the challenges that you have been able to overcome to bring about a continued success as we build toward a strong education foundation upon which skyscrapers, ladies and gentlemen, must be occupied by future educated leaders. We are but in the process of construction of a strong educational environment that becomes normal in the future landscape of life. And it is the acknowledgement of experiences of our speakers today and throughout your lives in which you are able to add triumphs and trials that will contribute to your resolve to succeed. My story is no different than what's been shared or no different than yours. Someone along the line said no. Someone along the line in that very timid attempt to reach out of what was my working environment, I reached out in a very tenuous manner to see if I might be considered for a planning commissioner position in the city of Fontana back in 1996. I grew up poor. I grew up with one ethic, and that was hard work. My family, friends of our family, all believed that through hard work, you could accomplish your goals, and that was to have a little money in the bank, pay for your little casita, and not be a burden on your children or on others, let alone the system. So for me, hard work was my way of life. I loved what I did, and I was very proud of it. But in this one tenuous attempt to reach out of my sphere, I was told, you are not planning commissioner material. We do not consider taco makers for such a position. After the interview, I picked up my purse, stood up, and I looked around, and I said, well, thank you very much for the opportunity you've given me to come and have this interview. And in my thought, I thought, you know, with all my hard work ethic, I'm making more money than all of you in this room. And I was. And I picked myself out and went to work knowing that everything was fine with my world. Told my husband. Husband said, oh, forget it, you don't need him. You know, we're doing fine. I said, okay, no problem. 2 or 3 months went by, and I started thinking about it. And I thought, here I've got 4 children. I've encouraged them to go to college. I've encouraged them to succeed. I have 2 college graduates with degrees. And I need to do a little something more. And this little, if you will, burr under my skin began to grow. And I made up my mind that I was going to figure out how they were not going to stop me. And I did become a planning commissioner. And within 1 year, I became the chair of the planning commission. Within 1 year after that, I ran for the Fontana City Council. I ran and I put up the first and only amount of money that I paid for my first campaign, which was $7,000. Didn't know anything about running a political campaign. Ran in a pack of 10, and I came in first. 4 years later, I ran again. This time I put up $11,000 of my own hard work money, and I won again in a pack of 3. And 6 years later, I ran for San Bernardino County Supervisor because I wanted to. Because I felt that I could bring something different to the county landscape. And ladies and gentlemen, that hard work that came with me from my grandparents and my parents, no different than you have that hard work ethic inside of you. That hard work ethic put forth $365,000 of my own money to run for San Bernardino County Supervisor. I was elected. I have struggled with the concept of having to ask people to contribute money to my political campaign because it goes against the grain. It goes against the Latino grain, doesn't it? It does. And so what I do is I work hard, no different than I'm asking you, no different than I will look inside of you for that hard work ethic so you can deserve what people give you. Because I am blessed to have been able to win the volition and the trust and the campaign contributions that today, in my 3rd term as San Bernardino County Supervisor, I am able to work and learn and strengthen and be able to bring about the accomplishment that we are celebrating here today. Because today's theme, courageous conversations, I will tell you changed everything I was going to say. I had everything written down. And you know what? It takes courage to stand up here the way Congresswoman Mccloud stood before you and shared. And there is no better ladder, no better building staircase than to know that those that came before you paved and paid the way for you. Y les doy las gracias a todos ustedes por el honor que ustedes me hacen de ser representativa, de tener el honor de hablar en una voz por ustedes y que como latinos tenemos el orgullo de pararnos derechos, levantar la frente y darle gracias a Dios por el honor que nos da de vivir. Muchas gracias.
Órale. Gracias, Madrina, for honoring us. And I'd ask, if you see her, we make it a point to, when we see our padrinos, we acknowledge them as padrino. We call them padrino, madrina, out of the honor. Josie Gonzalez joins a distinguished group of lead honorary chairs. Here to my left, we want to acknowledge some of our past honorary chairs, or padrinos. First, we have civil rights and education activist Sylvia Mendez. Sylvia. Thank you. She was our 2010 honorary chair, or Madrina de Honor, for the inaugural LEAD Summit. She's also a Presidential Medal of Freedom awardee. About a year ago, President Obama gave her the medal. In 2011, philanthropist Judy Rodriguez Watson was the honoree for our second summit. Judy. Thank you. I don't believe they're here yet, but journalist and activist Graciano and Trini Gomez were honored as the Padrino and Madrina de Honor at the inaugural LEAD Feria Educativa held in October 2011. Last year, for our 2012 LEAD Summit Padrino, we had Dr. Ernie Garcia.
Ernie.
Madrina Josie. For your accomplishments and lifetime service to our community, we would like to honor you and award you with our Lead Education and Advocacy Medallion of Honor.
Thank you. Thank you for the recognition. Thank you for the note that the earning of this medal be a symbol to all of you of what can be attained, what can be achieved because of the way other people look at the quality of your work, at the integrity of your words, and in the strength of your delivery. It is all about what other people think of us. Remember in high school when we would say, oh, so-and-so said this and this and that about you. And we thought we were really smart and cute, and we said, oh, I don't care what anybody says, I'm going to be me. Well, you know what? This me-ism comes right back to roost in my old age. Because I will tell you that it is about what other people think. It is about the other people holding that door open of opportunity for you that determines if you walk in that door or not. And it is the perception by which the future looks at us today. And it's my honor to receive this recognition. Y ahora verán que por ser madrina ahora de honor, les va a pesar. Oh, all right. Thank you. I believe Congresswoman Mccloud wants to come forward.
I forgot to say that I would like to present a certificate of special congressional recognition to the Latino Education and Advocacy Day. So if you will accept this, please.
Yes, I will. Thank you.
Thank you. And for those of you that don't know, we're actually good friends.
Absolutely. Thank you so very much. Que Dios los bendiga a todos. Gracias.
Thank you. All right. So, one more round of applause since we're here. Okay. As our speakers step down, I'm going to ask that you exit here, stage right. We're going to switch gears. We're going to ask Professors James Fenelon and Roberto Rodriguez to come on stage. And now that our madrina has christened our Lead Summit 4, let's commence our summit. Thank you. So we need a couple of minutes to rotate.